Alright, I'm getting mobile right now, but let's talk about a little something called love blind. Now, what exactly is being love blind? What does that entail? And why is it such a common thing that ruins very many people's lives? So, essentially, being love blind is when you're in a relationship with someone. Oftentimes, it happens towards the beginning of a relationship, and it's where you overlook flaws or red flags in a person because of your feelings for them. So, how do you know if you are in a relationship and you are love blind to some of the problems that are occurring? Because I would say at some point in your life, it happens to 95% of people, because a lot of people are conscious about stuff like that. So let's talk about some of the signs you're in a relationship like that really quickly, and what you can do if you are in a relationship like that. Because genuinely, if you get caught in a relationship like this, you get married to him, you rush into things, you get married to him, you will be stuck with this person and live a very unhappy life, because those problems, they're not going to go away. That person's not going to change. They're going to continue, if not get worse, and you're going to be very unhappy in life. So what are some of the signs? First, if your family members, when you're in a new relationship, are sitting there telling you, this is weird, or your friends are telling you, this is weird how they do this is weird how they do this, blah, 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 and you have to sit there and defend them, that's not the only red flag, but it is a red flag. And if you start getting multiple different opinions coming in, one or two here and there, sure, that person just has an opinion on it. But if almost every person in your life who has seen you two in a relationship together for an extended period of time is coming to you and saying, this is a little bit weird how they do this or they do this, it's definitely something you should look into, because they're probably seeing something that you're overlooking because you're love blind, right? Because a lot of the time, when we're in a new relationship with someone, they're going to almost be your entire world, and you're going to want that relationship to work more than anything in life. So if people are coming to you and saying stuff like that, you should probably reconsider, or at least talk to that person. So number 2 is, if you are noticing things in your relationship that you would tell your friends to be a little bit more cautious over, kind of flipping the rules a little bit. The hard part with this one is it does take a little bit more mindfulness, and you have to be a little bit more aware in order to think in this perspective. But I want you to think, are there things that is happening in our relationship right now that I would tell my friends is a red flag? If so, you might be a little bit love blind. Number 3, if you had red flags and boundaries set prior to your relationship, that you sit down and genuinely feel like this relationship that you are in has those exact same problems, but you didn't notice them until you're sitting down and thinking about them, then you're probably love blind. So there's so many different reasons that someone could be love blind, or so many ways to figure out if someone could be love blind. This is really a super high level topic that I'm not going to get into too much. I was just thinking about it because I've had a few friends who have been a little bit love blind, and so I figured it would be a very common thing that people should know about. So what can you do if you are love blind in a relationship? Well, first things first, it's not right for you just to leave that person without giving them any chance to change or telling them how you feel about that specific situation. This is where a lot of people get into a little bit of trouble, because being masculine, you're told not to portray your feelings or talk about how you feel. If you want to be in a healthy relationship, you're going to have to talk about how you feel at some point or another. You're going to have to be honest with that person. You're going to have to be vulnerable with that person. If you're not vulnerable to tell them how their activities are making you feel, you will never be in a healthy relationship, and you might be the problem. So you need to go to that person and talk to them. Tell them, when you do these things, I don't really like that. Or this is something that if it does not come to a resolution, we won't be able to continue being in a relationship, because these are some non-negotiables for me. You have to set those clear boundaries, and I promise you that person is going to respect you more if you do set those clear boundaries. Otherwise, if you're not setting boundaries in your relationship, you probably are desperate. The truth is, that person is going to look at you that you're desperate and you have no other options, which is why you're with them, which is just a very unattractive trait at the end of the day. So you need to go to them and talk to them about how you're feeling. If that conversation does not go good, if you're not able to effectively communicate how you're feeling to them and then reciprocate it well and have a healthy conversation about it, or in other words, it turns into a big argument and they start resenting you, that is your sign to get out of there. Because so many problems are going to come up in a relationship. There are going to be constant problems or things you have to work through. Even if it's not between the two of you, it's going to be things that you have to work on together about other people or about finances or whatever it may be. And if you're not able to communicate effectively with your partner, those issues are going to turn into personal issues between the two of you. So all of this really comes down to being able to communicate how you feel and taking input from other people, but not letting this input from other people drive the decisions you make. It's great to take input from other people, but they do not see everything in your relationship. They don't see when you two are alone. They only see the small fraction of the time when you are together with them. So sure, taking their input. It's great to get as much input from as many people as possible, but be a critical thinker. Take that information and do something with it. Really sit down and say, okay, you know what, this person doesn't see everything, but let me look into this a little bit deeper and see if it's something that, you know what, maybe this is something I need to be concerned about. Then you go to your partner and talk to them. You and your partner need to be on the same page. If you and your partner are not in a team and on the same page, then you two are never going to work out. Be a critical thinker, take advice, but don't listen to everything everyone says about your relationship or you'll never be happy. So, I got nothing to sell you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, not a single thing to sell you, but I do have a course coming soon. It's basically just a course on helping you become your best self, not be helping you become like me, not anything like that. Helping you become the best version of yourself, achieve your purpose, max out your discipline, become the best version of yourself, and find that happiness in your life. Again, I have nothing to sell you. It's so far out still, but if you would possibly be interested in it, or if you have any questions, I have my Instagram linked in the description of this video. Shoot me a DM, let me know you're interested or any questions you have. I'm more than happy to help with anything absolutely free. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I love you all.